with my best friend and in her newly renovated house. Come follow me. Hello! Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Iuliia and today I'm so excited to welcome my best friend and the owner of Ynut and beautiful influencer and beautiful girl and beautiful soul, Yashmini. Welcome!
Thank you. Such an honor to be here on your first ever YouTube channel. Super nice to be as your guest today.
Thank you, baby. So, it was very important for me to take this opportunity and to film you as well, because I think your journey is amazing and inspiring. It's inspiring me every single day. I want to tell you that you are a combination of crazy beauty as well as a person with incredible soul. You always inspiring me how much you see the best in other people, and I'm learning from that because sometimes I don't. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. I know you are very busy at this moment. You have lots of things happening in your life. Maybe you can just explain us a little bit what is going on now?
Oh wow, what is going on? Yeah, I think since the past 4 years, my life took like a huge shift. The past month also has been like quite crazy. New happenings, new beginnings, evolution of my personal life, of my business. Now I'm setting up my business to be running like without me in the production, like physically here on a day-to-day. So like really bringing more people in my team, giving more responsibility to my team that has been here before, which is great. My home, I just bought my new home where we're sitting now. In January, I bought it from a very good friend of mine. I've been living here for a few years already and I always felt like home. So it was a dream for me to buy this house and it happened in January. And now we are like doing all the interior design and we like really bringing the house to my own little taste, and then I'm going to put it on rental on Airbnb, booking.com. So it's a new adventure also for me.
So guys,
yeah, please book. and the villa will be called Villa Inicio. And Inicio is a Latin name which means like inspiration, because I've been inspired in this house to start Ynut, my company. And also it means new beginnings, because in my personal life there's also like new happenings, new beginnings for me. So it's going to be, so this house is going to be like my inspiration and it's start of a, let's say, a new stage and a new chapter in my life. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, Yashu, I remember your Instagram and things you were sharing with us was more of beautiful pictures, and you were not really sharing much what's happening in your life, and like lots of people posting their things on social media. But I remember in December 2021 there was a post that actually changed a lot in your life. And why you decided to do that and what was it about?
So to begin with, like my Instagram has always been like a fun part, like social media, sharing pictures of me at the beach or traveling or with my friends, like the good times. It was like mainly that, showing the good part of my life, and I was definitely not showing anything bad or challenges what was happening. It was not anyway my mindset at that time. And then a few years back I was diagnosed from vitiligo. So vitiligo is like depigmentation of the skin, and so this is where everything changed, because it completely changed my life. It completely changed me, and I don't know. I felt like something deep inside of myself that I really needed to share it, to really raise awareness about it. And because it affected me so much in terms of my confidence, because my physical appearance has always been my shield. Like when I realized younger that I was pretty, let's put it this way, I used it to kind of hide my pain, you know. So I was like really using my physical appearance, and the vitiligo came and really touched like my shield. So it really come, and yeah. So when so when I started to see the depigmentation of my skin, it was really hard, and it was like impactful for me. And when I think of a moment I had the first spot until now,
Oh, baby.
yeah, it was really tough. And I think when you overcome it and you come to where I am today, you definitely need to share it, even if it's hard and if it's still a part of me, because of course it's still here and I've accepted it. But I think there are many people going through this, and I felt it was kind of my responsibility to talk about it, because when I was thinking, okay, I was 28 when I was diagnosed, and it impacted my life so much. So how would a child of like 4 or 5 years old feel if they are impacted by this kind of disease? And when I started to talk about it, like there was so many moms writing to me and telling me, oh my God, my child has it, and you know, they're at school, and you know, the kids, they can be really rude, and she doesn't know what to do. So like I've shared everything I've done. Of course, I'm not like a doctor or whatever. I've done my journey, and I've shared my best practices. And like it's super impactful for me today after all this journey, when like a mom come to me and tell me, oh my God, my daughter of 9 years old, she has a skin disease, but I'm showing her your Instagram. I'm telling her, look at her, how beautiful she is, how she's showing how her difference make her unique. So this was my goal, you know. Of course, there's a part of me who is always super pin-up, bikini, traveling and all, and this is a part of me also. But also there's this part who wants to be really like this raw person going through life, going through her challenges, and something that really changed my life. And it was hard for me. Till now, it's hard for me, but I really felt deep inside of me like I needed to talk about it, first of all, for myself, because keeping it is like really hard, and always thinking, oh my God, what are people are going to think about me? What are people are going to say? So no, I shouldn't be thinking of that. I should be more positive and just go and confront it, you know, instead of just bearing it. So this was the whole purpose of like the post and speaking openly about it. Of course, I had to do a journey before to get there, and it was amazing. And this is where my Instagram really took like a hit in a way, because like, and which is really amazing. It means that people are really looking for real, you know, they're looking for real life thing, not the superficial part of your life, but like what really you're going through and how you can inspire them and how they can be inspired by you. So it's like, this is where like the whole, like you're talking about Instagram, but this is where my whole Instagram journey has changed, and it has become so valuable to me to be able to, it's a platform for me to express myself like who I am exactly.
Thank you for this, emotional.
Yeah, I told myself I wouldn't cry, or I would cry at the end.
Well, it's obviously something important, and something strong would happen to you. And I love the way you take it, because it can break a lot of people. And I always thought about it, if we recall healing, that behind every physical trauma, there is something emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, we had this conversation, how come vitiligo came to you?
Yeah.
Because like indeed you have this like crazy beauty, and I always tell you should go for Miss Mauritius. People, if you want her to go for Miss Mauritius, write a comment down below.
I think I'm a little bit too old now. It's Mrs. Mauritius.
Mrs. Mauritius. And it's incredible the way you turn around, and well, this is actually how even your business started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's brought me so many positive things. Of course, at the beginning, it was like my whole world was falling apart, and I had an amazing support. And I think like really this is what has get me going to reach to the point where I've created like a beautiful business. And I feel like, you know, in my journey, I had all these people around me that really uplift me at that time. And like on my own, I would have never been able to get to the point where I am today. And I don't think I have to mention those people. I think they know themselves very well, who has really supported me, being by my side. Like really, like I am so grateful for each of them. And even in the creation of Ynut, like all my support system has been like really strong around me. And yeah, so when I was diagnosed from the vitiligo, of course, the first thing was like super panicking, and then going to dermatologists. And the first thing was like, I remember the first thing that the dermatologist told me was like, oh my God. Like he was more like panicking me, you know, he was like you're such a beautiful girl. This is like kind of going to ruin your beauty. He's like, it will come on your face. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway, and then I saw like a second dermatologist who told me, who is apparently the best in Mauritius, but he told me, okay, there's no like real cure. You can put cream and all, but then what I would suggest you is maybe to put makeup on it. And this was, I think, really the worst advice you can give me. And in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm a super girly. I love to put makeup. So I love putting makeup on my face. So it would be okay to put makeup on my hands. But no, it's not. Because I put makeup on my face, it's like, you know, like you go out, it's a little pin-up thing. But I'm not really hiding. Here I was like consciously going to hide my vitiligo under foundation. And it's a horrible feeling when you remove this. It's like, so it was so traumatic, like all this journey. And then at some point there was no cure. I've been to India, and I started a new treatment, but it was like a strong treatment. So I was getting side effects. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to treat a problem by creating another problem. So at some point I was like, okay, maybe I should go more into a natural way. And it was at the same time that COVID was hitting, and I was working as a sales manager in a luxury property on the island. So it was like really fast track, fast life. And yeah, so I've decided to slow down. Anyway, it was COVID, so I was not...
Did someone tell you to do so, or you just felt it?
When I was reading and started to understand that all autoimmune disease are actually related to your emotions. And I was very stressed. I was very, very stressed because when I do something, when I work, either for myself or somebody else, I really do it with my full heart, with a lot of passion. I really enjoy it. And I loved my job so much as sales manager for One and Only. Oh my God, I think it was like I've learned so much there. It was such a beautiful property, and I was giving everything, you know, I could give. And it was really hard because I had to accept that my body couldn't take this amount of stress, and maybe I was working too much and I was too harsh on myself. But it took me time to understand, you know, because your mind wants something, but your body's not following. So it's like, okay. So anyway, so when COVID came, so I naturally slowed down. And then I started like a new journey, because just before COVID hit, I went to see a naturopath. And she told me, listen, all autoimmune disease are highly inflammatory. It means that your organs are inflamed. So maybe what you should do is change like your diet and go into a more plant-based diet, which will mean that you will remove all inflammatory food. So all dairy, meat, and everything. At first I was like, oh my God, we've grown up eating like so much meat. Exactly. But I have never really been a big fan of meat. I have never really known how to cook it really well. So I guess it was not meant for me. And then I started this journey. It was easy because I didn't go out. I didn't go to restaurant because it was COVID time. So it was mostly home cooked meal. And I really started to implement like this new diet in my life, and then it really started to become super interesting. I was looking for recipes, I was cooking for myself, and I had time, and I started to realize, oh my God, I really love it. I love to be plant-based, and I really changed overnight. And it's not like if it was hard or I was missing it or something like this. I never came back again to meat because I just feel like it was not what I liked, and then out of this, started like, okay, I shouldn't eat maybe too much processed food, so remove a bit of a sugar. And I have a sweet too. I love sweets. So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to eat? So I remembered when I was in Bali, I had like an energy bar. So I went online and I Googled energy bar and I looked at all the recipe. And then I started to make, and I saw they were doing like vegan sneakers. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, the best.
Yeah, so when I started to do it for me, I remember my first sneaker, it was like the taste was amazing, but the look was like, oh my God, not really nice. But like it was my first like trials at home, and I started to really share. Everybody was sharing on Instagram and the story what they were cooking, bread and everything. So I was sharing my energy bars, and it all started from that. Like it all started from like making something for myself, because I had like to follow a dietary restriction. To today, like fast forward 3 years after, like a business where I employ people, where I am like having like my products in like 30 points of sales around the area. It's crazy, but like for me, the recipe is really to do it with love and your heart. Like when I started Ynut, it was not about chasing money. It was not about looking for success, or like I never thought of myself being a businesswoman. First of all, I thought I would finish my entire life in hotel industry, But no, it was, I think, a natural shift, and this wouldn't have happened without my vitiligo. So for me, I always call my vitiligo like my wake-up call, and how it brought me back to my true nature, and how it really put me back on my journey, Like I think I kind of lost myself along the way, but I think it's normal, because I always say in Creole, ce qui sait qui connaît. So you have to try to know. So I've tried all, I think, like different kind of like lifestyle, and I think it just brought me back to the true person that I am. And brought me back to a true person that I am. I have never really been a chef in my life, so me having a vegan treat business is crazy. But again, I think when you do it with your heart and you do it with a purpose, and this was for me the purpose of like doing something really tasty, but at the same time healthy, to bring it in people's life, And I guess if it's working today, is that people love it and they can feel the love behind. And I think this is where the success comes from.
Ynut? It's a popular brand now through, like, I love sweets and I'm not vegan or not vegetarian. Like
you tried a little
but
bit.
We're still friends. You're still friends with
you
me.
have more plant-based now compared to before.
Yes, it's true. It's true. And I remember when first time I tried sneakers.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what? How is it possible? It's so good. And I must tell you that since the day one I try it until now, 3 years after, it tastes exactly the same. And this is a lot of brands losing it through time. Yeah, they're starting to cut on things or using cheaper product because they see the money.
Of course.
But well done to you. And I know that some people say it a little bit overpriced, but let's just try to explain what ingredients we put inside and what are people actually getting by eating a Snickers, for example.
No, it's exactly as you say. Like when I started, of course, I put the best ingredients. And of course, when you grow, when I started, I was maybe selling, let's say, 15 Snickers, and now we sell a lot more.
And a lot more, how many?
Let's not get into figures. But no, definitely, I mean, when you grow, you kind of, obviously, when you're a good business person, I don't know, but like when you really think business, you want to reduce your cost and increase your margin, which is obvious. But because the beginning of this journey and the purpose of why I was doing it was so strong for me, because as I said before, it was not like something where I wanted to make like huge profits and something where like I didn't even know I was like I have this kind of business thing inside of me. So for me, it's really important for me to stay, to stay like true to myself, even in my business. And I think I have an engagement towards my clients today. So yes, definitely my products are not, let's say, affordable, but it's because why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want my products to be nutrient dense. I want when a child, an adult, or anyone is having it, like, you know, I think when you have a sneaker afterwards, you don't want to eat anything, you know, you're full.
Maybe you just want to eat 3 more sneakers, in my case.
Yeah, it's true, but I have some clients that do that. But I mean, it's like, I really want the people, when they eat my products, they're like, okay, I've paid for, like, you know, what I'm having. Like, and for me, I'm using exactly the same ingredients since day one till now. Like, I didn't cut anything. In the contrary, I have added, like, for example, the Bounty, which is even more expensive because the coconuts are, like, really expensive if you want good quality. But again, like, for me, my purpose is to really give good products. And of course, at the end of the day, I'm a business, I have costs, I have staff, and I need to make profit out of it. But at the same time, I could have reduced the price and I could have make it more affordable, but this was not the purpose of my business. And I think if today my clients are still, you know, buying it and it's still popular, it means that they really have confidence in my brand. And what I put in my products is like, so everybody asks me how your products are like so sweet, but you say it's like refined sugar-free or it's sugar-free. I said it's not sugar-free, it's like a refined sugar-free, and it's naturally sweet. So it's naturally sweet from dates. So it's done like really in an artisanal way. Like, I could have taken this, for example, which is already without the seed, but it has less nutrients and it's more dry, it has less taste. And also I have really tried again to make like the most out of it and try to find the solution that maybe it's more time consuming, but at the same time, it has more nutrients and more taste for the clients. So, and then I use gluten-free oats. I will use like chocolate chip without sugar, dark chocolate chip. I will use like nuts, like really good quality of nuts, and yeah, and then of course all these beautiful products, like you need to produce them behind. It takes time, and of course my background is sales and marketing, so the appearance of my product is really important. You know, it has to be catchy. So I will also invest in the packaging, like really make sure I'm trying to be ecological in a way, and also to be able, you know, to catch the eye of a client who is walking through like a supermarket. So it's a lot of things that goes behind the scene of like when you just grab the product in the supermarket. You know, it's like having the deliveries and so it's a lot of things that goes behind. And yeah, I guess so. If today people are really into my product and have integrated into their like day to day, I mean, it's like if you're buying rice or like if you're buying pasta, I mean, our sales means that really people have integrated it in their daily life. And if we got there, I think we really understand how much effort, how much love and all we're putting in our products, yeah, for them to trust us, even if we're not very affordable, because quality is extremely important for me. Consistency is extremely important. And when you do artisanal, especially me, I'm not a chef. So when you do it artisanal way and to be able to keep it the same way, obviously we have some miss out. Obviously it's not always perfect. But again, I have, even for this, I have an amazing support system. I have the best clients. I have the best resellers. If there is any issue that happened with my products, they will always tell me, oh, Yashmini, this is what happened. Maybe you need to fix this or change that. And I always try to take the maximum feedback because this is the way I will always improve, you know, and yeah.
Sold. I take it. Okay. And Yash, except changing your nutrient pot and, you know, and this growing actually to your business, and you're fully independent now and beautiful entrepreneur and so professional. You know, we actually met at St. Regis in 2012 when we were both kids, I would say. And,
oh my God, yes.
And it was for me really something new to work in Mauritius, because before I was working for my company and then I joined Mauritian team. And I remember, you know, how I met you. Yeah, we were on a training, and then there is this little cute girl standing up and say, hello everyone, my name is Yashmini, but you can call me Yash.
Oh my God, we stayed for like many years.
And even, you know, I remember we used to work and you were always very professional. That's a beautiful. I guess you get it maybe from your family as well, because they are very. Your brother as well is extremely professional. Your father, and it's such a rare quality as well. Yeah, and I guess this is what led you to your success. But except this journey, I know you did a lot of healing, and maybe you can share with us what are discoveries you had.
Yeah, so also I think my vitiligo has been, how to say this in English, it's like the thing that really triggered, you know, like this was the last point, the breaking point. But of course, to get to a breaking point, it means that there was things that happened before that leads me to this point. And so when I was 8, my mom had like a breast cancer, and she passed away after 3 months. So it was like really hard. I was 8 years old, so it was like, of course, a big trauma. I was not understanding what's happening. Like, she was super healthy and we were having our normal family life, and then like one day everything is changing, and like my father is taking her to Reunion Island, to South Africa. I'm not understanding. I'm not going on holidays with them. Where are they going? Why are they not taking me? You know, it's like all those questions in your mind. And then at some point my mom has like beautiful hair, and she did so chemotherapy, and one day she comes, she has no more hair, and it's like it's so much trauma. And but like I think this little girl inside of me just, you know, she kind of fight through life, because like what happened at that time was, I think also it was like, so I was 8 years old, so it was like more than 20 years ago. And I think at that time, you know, there was not like now where you go to therapy, where you do healing, where even for a child, because it's really traumatic, where you talk about it. At that time, everybody was like so shocked, first of all, because it was so quick, exactly. So everybody was like in a panic mode. And they kind of forgot, like, okay, you have a kid who is not understanding what's happening, and she needs to understand. But the problem is at that time I think everybody tried their best, you know, it's like you give what you can. So, and they gave me what they could give me, but I felt a loneliness, I think, that I've never ever felt in my life. How I know this is because I've been through, thanks to you, I've been through like the recall healing therapy, and with Marty, and this was like amazing, because like what we did like emotional washout. So it's all like energy and your mind, and like bringing you to a state that really need to go out. So it brought me back, or this emotional washout has brought me to the little Yashmini of 8 years old who just lost her mom. And I closed my eyes and I was laying down and I was seeing the little me. I was seeing this little me who was scared, who felt extremely lonely, and that like I really needed, like, I don't know, like to have like a safety net, but I didn't have this. So it was like extremely hard, and yeah, so this is the thing. I think this is the huge emotional trauma I had. And I kind of, as a child, because of course, like I didn't know what to do. So of course, in my reaction, I was very aggressive. I was always like fighting. I was like, oh my God, my poor brother. I think I broke his arm like 3 times.
But a little bit aggressive.
A little bit aggressive, but like I was like crying for help. But at that time, and everybody was doing their grief. I mean, my dad is the most extraordinary person I know, and he did what he could. But even for him, you know, it was, he also lost his wife, so it's like it was really, really traumatic. So, and I think I kept all of this inside of me for such a long time. And at some point in my life, I think I had too much stress, and you know, it's like what my therapist told me once is like you have a vase, and then you have water in it, and you have water and water and water. And at some point, when it goes above, it's overflowed. It's like your vitiligo is like overflowing. It's like you couldn't take more, because of course I had this, but then your life goes on, and then you have other events that affect you, other events again that affect you. And I think I just reached the breaking point. And thank God it's only vitiligo. It could have been something worse, you know. And yeah, this is where all my healing journey started, because I had to go through years back of trauma to be able to reach the point where I can be in an emotional state where my past is not affecting all my reactions, you know, it's not affecting my life, because obviously what I have lived has affected my relationship, has affected my friendship, my relationship with my parents. So it goes everywhere, even in my work where I was stressing. So it's just like I was filled in with so much emotional roller coasters that my body couldn't take it anymore. So the healing has been extremely helpful, and well, thanks to you. You are among the person who has guided me towards the healing, but I've also been like seeing like a lot of therapists and all my friends has always been, you know, recommending me what to do. So I have did a real cocktail of everything. And who brought me to where I am today. So again, I don't have to mention each and everybody who helped me. They will really recognize themselves, but like everybody has really around me in my inner circle has helped me to reach the point where I am today, even like spiritually and emotionally.
I remember, you know, when I wanted so much to have a baby, me and my husband, and it couldn't happen for us for a lot of time. And this is like the biggest motivation can happen to you, and this is as well a journey of self-discovery started for me. So unfortunately sometimes we need to really go low to go high. Definitely. As they say. And I'm really grateful that God, you know, watching after us and did it in such a way that actually through self-discovery we get to something really beautiful in our life. And thank you so much for saying that. But I remember when you went for recall healing to our friend Mati, you were already ready for that. Yeah. Because if, let's say, it would be on the beginning of your journey, maybe you would not be open to that, or you didn't understand that. But because you were so determined to try a lot of things, that it just came naturally to you. Yeah. And so, yeah, like, I guess, you know, we all need to try and not to give up, and not to say, God, why you do this to me? But more say, God, like, why you do this to me? Like, what do you want me to understand from this? How do you want me to become better in my life? And I think it's beautiful. And I'm very, very glad that you didn't take it in an angry way, because I'm sure you had those moments of despair. Yeah, no, I think my vitiligo was mainly sadness. Like, the big anger I had was when my mom passed away. The first person I was angry to was God, and I started believing from that moment as a kid. And it's crazy, but it's like my vitiligo had made me go again in the path of God, because I had no one to go to. I mean, like, at some point I was like, okay, I'm back. Please help me. And I remember something beautiful you told about your mom, how open-minded she was, and she would take you to like all kind of, you know, religious places. Yeah, so my mom has, and I've grown up like this, even with my father. Like, we have never, of course, I'm from Hindu origin, but my mom has always been very open religiously. Like, we had the Jesus at home, we had the Buddha. So she never like told me, okay, because of course we are in a multicultural island. Sometimes you kind of tend to be in your little box, you know. But she was always had like this bright vision of life. So in everything, so she would take me to the church. We will also go to like do different kind of religious events, and even at home we had all the different statues. But at the same time, she never imposed anything on us. You know, she was always the kind like, you know, follow your heart, live your life. Like, so many times she went on holidays, like traveling on her own, and like I think she was like really this really strong, independent woman. And when I'm told that, you know, I'm like her, like she loves fashion, I have a picture of me, like, you know, who is doing, because we had like a long corridor in our home. And I was wearing her high heels, and I would be walking in the corridor and doing my little fashion show. And then, I don't know, I fell down or something like this. And then, like, she took a picture of me. And it's like, you know, beautiful memories, because of course, I mean, I'm kind of a mini version of her. And yeah, so it's like, I think I am living
through her, you know. Of course, there are many characteristics of her. And her mom is still here, my grandmother, and every time she sees me, she's like, oh my God, it's like my daughter, you know. It's like, you remind me, you are like, I don't know, like she would be so proud of you. And this is obviously like, there's nothing that you can tell me that will mean more than me, but you know that my mom would be like super proud of me. So I guess I'm living my life through her eyes. So yeah.
Since that your post since December, lots of things change in your life, and I know you know, all this attention, of course, bring up and beautiful emotions, and you know, your Instagram, I think from 3,000 followers really grow, and you have your little community of people that supporting you. And despite why not, now you are an influencer as well, and you are doing it super professional. Lots of brands want to work with you because you have a strong message. But as well, like, I would like you to share with us, how did you handle this attention and how did you feel about it? And I know you have a special routine as well in the mornings with your meditation, and if you can just guide us for someone who a little bit lost maybe, or on the path of changing their life.
So first, with the attention from the Instagram, once again, I think it all became very naturally, and there's a part of me that always loved, like I was joking, always saying, okay, I would tag the brands, maybe one day they will want to work with me, you know, like in a super joke way. Like, I mean, I will never be an influencer. I mean, this is not who I am, and I don't think I have, I don't know, the capacity of doing it. This was like a few years ago, and you know, like, and then it all became super natural. I think I love to take pictures, I love to take stories, and I love to share. So again, it was like really natural flow. So I didn't feel like it was like a huge attention or anything, because everything was done like very organically and in a very natural way. And definitely today, there has been a shift. I've been doing like really cool collaborations, and it's amazing because now it's not like just one collaboration. Some brands really want to take me as an ambassador, you know, like really signing me for like a year or something like this. Like, and for me, it's amazing because I love everything about brands. I love all sales and marketing parts. So like to be able to understand the story behind like a brand, and to be able to telling it, to engage people around it. But what's super important for me is to collaborate with brands that resonate to me, that really has a story that I want to share personally, and yeah. So all my Instagram part, I think it's like very natural and very organic, and I'm very, very humble about it. But I think this is something you can have. It goes up and down, and today I can integrate it in my lifestyle, the way I am, the way I work and all. But I don't know for how long it will be. So for me, it's like really like a fun part, and I do it again with my heart. And it's very important for me to keep being true to myself. It's not my main job. My main focus, of course, remain why not. So it's for me on the side, what I want to do, and make it fun, and at the same time bring some quality content to the people, you know, that follows me, so they get to know new brands. I can share my journey. Now it's about my home, so I will always tag like my little the people who are helping me, you know, to design my home, and yeah. So this is all like very natural, very organic. And for the part of how do I deal maybe with all of this in between my business, now the influencer thing, now renting my house, because like, of course, it's a lot of happenings. Well, in a way, I don't have a child yet, so I think when I get to that, it's another stage. But with all of this happening, all the emotional part, managing a team, managing my page, managing my house, like I really need to like step back and breathe, because sometimes I just feel overwhelmed. Like one day I can be booming of energy and I want to do everything, and I think my Instagram represents this. Like one day I can post like 50 stories of everything I do, and then for 1 week you don't hear me at all, and people will write to me, where are you? Are you okay? It's just like, this is like, how I am now, in a way of kind of like I give a lot, and then sometimes I just feel like, okay, I need to just, get into my cocoon and recharge. And how I do it is like, and I've learned to do this throughout my whole journey of vitiligo, to really breathe in, breathe out, and just, let it go. I have not been able to do like a meditation on my own. Like I have too many thoughts because my life has been like evolving one after the other like this. And so I do like all guided meditation, and it really drives me through like, clearing my mind, like repeating mantras, positive mantras, and like, getting it into my mind. Like when I have negative thoughts, of course I'm a human being, at some point you have things going wrong, you have good things happening to you, and then you start to think, oh my God, but how, if ever it goes wrong like this, and I mean, like,
overthinking.
You are definitely the person that knows it the best, because I'm always writing to you and tell you, oh my God, and what if like this, what if like that. So first I do like meditation, I do my breathing exercise, I work out. This is for me one of the best way to remove, all the stress. And this is like my time, before I was working out, obviously I wanted to have a good body. This was my only goal of working out. Then there was a shift where my workout would be the time where I would actually, release all the stress, release this energy, and at the same time be beneficial for not my physical appearance, but like for my heart, for my organs, for my breathing. So it really changed, and actually my body changed with that too, So it's crazy when your purpose change, how you feel aligned, and when your soul is aligned with anything that you're doing, you will always see the positive. And then I also talk a lot to my friends, and when I feel something now, before I was trying to hide many things I was feeling, because I would say, oh, it's so stupid, or why am I thinking like this, or now I voice it out. I say things, like before I would brush things under the carpet, and now I really want to be this person, who is not afraid to say what she thinks, and to let it out, instead of keeping it inside of myself.
And Yash, I know that your family, some of your family is quite traditional, and I know you can be a little bit different. Yeah. Let's say at the family lunch, and as we are evolving as population, as Mauritius, and we have a beautiful people who are very creative, but they still keep their traditions. Maybe you can say a few words to the girls that, little bit too much in a family pressure, because I know that you stand up for yourself a lot.
I think we kind of lost ourselves for a while, and then we reconnected really well. So, and I think this space when I move out from the house really gave us time to work through. For me personally, I needed really a break from my family. I really needed to reconstruct myself on my own, to know who I was. And now that I am at peace with myself, I can reintegrate, everything. Because before it was like something, I was hitting a wall because there was too much inside of me. And now that I have dig in and work through everything, now I can really, enjoy my family time. And oh my God, like, the first man of my life, my father and my brother, I love them so much, and they take care of me like a little princess. So no, I'm super, super grateful for them. Maybe my mom passed away when I was young, but at the same time, I have been able to have on the other side, like those two amazing men, who I know I can ask anything I want. Okay, my brother will be watching this, so like, you be. But really, I can ask everything I want. They're always there to support me in all my dreams. And I think, like, it's sad, but not everybody has this. And I'm very conscious of this. And I'm super, super grateful to have both of them. And now my father, who hates dogs, usually, he's super in love now with my two dogs, Zoe and Oscar. And
the grandkids.
The grandkids. So he's like super in love. Just to see the shift of my dad towards dogs is like so crazy. And I always tell him, oh, you didn't like dogs before. He's like, yeah, but it's your dog, so it's different. It's so cute. Yeah.
So cute. And what is next? In few words?
What is next? There's quite some changes in my life, quite some evolution. and it's very new. So of course, I want to keep it in my little cocoon. And but I think it's extremely positive. I feel very good, very aligned with my journey. My business is really evolving. I'm giving more responsibility to myself. I'm growing the business, so I'm giving more opportunities for people to come and learn from my business. And the business itself is growing, so this is great. Now my house, I'm super happy about it, and we'll see how it goes with a rental. And then so new beginnings in my life. There's also of course my personal life also, which is like taking a beautiful new shift in a beautiful location. So so we will see how it goes, but I feel like I am exactly where I need to be. I am exactly with whom I need to be around me. And I think when you feel like the people around you are really lifting you up and you can also be there for them, I don't know, I just feel like I'm exactly in my journey, and I'm just following through my path, and I'm really listening to my heart. And this is what you always told me when I'm scared, I'm taking decisions, and I'm like, oh my God, why am I doing this? Am I completely crazy? And you're the one who always said,
oh my God, don't need to put all this responsibility.
Like, you follow your heart, and it's true. Like, it's just like sometimes when you go against yourself or you force things, you know something is wrong, but you still push through. But when you do it with your heart, when you're really listening to yourself, to your soul, it's just so natural. And I just feel like I'm in this path now where everything is flowing naturally. So, well, I don't have a crystal ball to know what's going to happen in a few months, in a few years.
But we live the present.
Exactly. And I feel like I just trust the universe. I am where I am today. I think it's because there's something more powerful than us that really give us all those blessings and guide us through our journey with good and bad moments, with challenges and beautiful moments of happiness. So yeah, I trust the process of life. I trust the universe, and I definitely know where I am, and I will be exactly where I need to be.
Oh, thank you, my baby. Thank you for this time.
No, thank you.
For your interview, and I'm looking forward for your new chapters and to be part of it as well.
Oh, you will definitely be part of it.
Merci. Oh, mon
Merci.